and we've been active to this day. And we do a lot of just bingo matches and stuff like that. And it looks like we're getting underway here. Alright, so the main movement tech you're going to see in this game at the start here is what we call bunny hopping here, which should be fairly obvious. If you jump and input a down and jump, you'll do this quick drop, and that'll speed your bunny up very slightly, but you can just do it over and over again, and it'll actually be super cool. It's really useful for dodging attacks too. So the first item we just picked up there is the hammer, which is your basic melee attack. Think of it as if Samus didn't have their blaster, and they had to pick it up. So, it looks like, I think that's Craz is a little behind here. His delay is a little higher than our other, but we'll see if we can get it synced up. So, they're going to want to be whacking things with the hammer here, because that will level it up, and that'll give them access to more attacks early on. Here's the first boss, Cocoa. Cocoa doesn't really do anything. She just kind of stands here and gets whacked by the hammer and then is defeated. But immediately after that, we get to pick up the carrot bombs, which are basically the morph ball bombs of the game. You're going to drop them on the ground. They're going to blow up passages and stuff like that. And a lot of the items that they will need to pick up for their lines will be gated by these carrot bombs. So it's absolutely essential you pick those up. You can probably see it on the restream, but I haven't seen... Okay, so it looks like Craz is being given row 3, and Cosmoing has been given column 2. So let's analyze this for just a second here. Row 3 involves money, bunny lover buff, sandbag high score, some items, and 7 badges. So the badge is the badges. In kind of like Paper Mario-esque, there are badges in this game you can pick up and equip, and they give you all sorts of different little benefits and stuff like that. There are only a couple that are actually good for taking out bosses and stuff faster, but for the badge goals, they'll have to pick up enough badges to satisfy the conditions, or pick up certain badges that will activate specific buffs. Like you'll see in column 1, row 1, the health and mana wager badges. Those are just 2 badges that you have to go pick up, and of course, one of those 2 badges actually has a pretty complex set of items you need to pick up in order to actually get the badge. So if anyone would be doing that, they'll have to find those items as well. And yeah, just echoing what they said in chat here, Craz is very good at this game on the harder difficulties. He does a lot of the really, really hard stuff in this game. The bosses in this game are pretty much like bullet hell bosses you see in like Toho games or things like that. A lot of bullet dodging going on. Since this is being played on casual difficulty, the bullet patterns aren't going to be that difficult. But it's not like dying is impossible. I guess we'll put it that way. But you'll probably see them roll over some bosses, and you'll probably see a couple boss skips as well, as them zipping into their room and such like that. Alright, it looks like Cosmoing has to do column 2. Okay, so the level 2 P hairpin he has to do, to unlock that, he has to go into a pretty out-of-the-way area, in addition to collecting 4 towns members. I guess since Cosmoing is getting into town here, we can kind of talk about that. So once you get into town here, the prologue is over and the main quest kind of starts. The main quest of this game is to run around the island and pick up well, this is in the base game. You're supposed to pick up 10 towns members to unlock the final chapter of the game, but you will... it's very unlikely you will see anyone actually get close to that. The most town members you'll see in this race is probably 5 or 6. Having 4 towns members does unlock a very large amount of things, including probably half of the weapon upgrades, or half of the item upgrades, such as the level 2 P hairpin that he is being made to do. Oh, I can see why they chose this row. At the very bottom of column 2, recruit Alrana and Lilith. Those bosses are both very out of the way. Lilith herself is actually probably a 3-4 minute auto-scroller that people actually really dread to do because there's really no way of speeding it up. So it's actually a pretty popular choice to pick a line for your opponent that includes fighting Lilith. Alright, Cosmoing just picked up the Rabi Slippers there, which is the high jump of the game. So he's going to get a little bit boost to his jump height. And again, it's just a very essential movement item, because it just saves so much time. You actually have a built-in wall jump in this game. You can wall jump twice, in fact. But the high jump there will just, make that so much better, so you can go, even higher up walls and stuff like that. There is a wall jump item that you can pick up that makes wall jumps easier and actually gives you a maximum of 3 wall jumps, but you don't actually need it in order to perform 2. You might see people picking it up, though. It does make your wall jumps a little bit extra high, and sometimes you actually do need all 3 of those wall jumps to, get certain places. The item requirements for some of the more out-of-the-way items can get pretty crazy. So Cosmoing is going to be fighting Rita here. Rita is a very common first town member. You'll probably see people get a lot during these races. Because you need 2 town members to start the... I guess you could call it quest. It's not really what it is, but to start the event, I guess, that unlocks the first major movement speed item. So you'll probably see people recruit Rita first the vast majority of the time, just so they can get to that movement item even faster. Let's see craz819 picking up their slippers here. So now, I think craz819 is probably a little bit behind in, well, on my stream. I'm not sure how it looks on your stream. They may be synced on your stream. That'd be pretty cool. But, what is anti-bingo? So, both of the players chose 1 line for their opponent to have to complete, and they will have to be doing 1 of their own as well. So, it looks like Cosmoing is going to be coming over here to fight Sucini. Sucini is a required boss to unlock the, the event that'll unlock the next movement, major movement item, which is going to be the slide. But it looks like craz819 is opting to do the park climb, we like to call. Instead of going left to the snowland to fight Rita, he's going up the park area. So he'll be getting his slide a little bit later, but he'll be unlocking some warp stones, and this badge he's picking up right now, which is actually extremely important for damage. The attack trade badge he just picked up will increase his damage output by 25%. In exchange for taking 50% more damage. So it's a pretty dangerous badge to use. Well, casually. But when you get players of this caliber, you wouldn't expect them to, die from simple things. Is what I say, but I still die. So I guess I shouldn't talk. So Cosmoing looks like he's checking his menu. He was checking his debuff menu there, so he's probably trying to log a certain debuff that he received from an enemy. Oh no, he was doing a save glitch there. That's what he did there. So this game is kind of broken up into chapters. The transition between chapters takes you into a little boss fight, and you can actually trigger a autosave right after the boss fight and then reload the autosave, and it doesn't kick you out of the area. You stay in the area, and you can just kind of casually walk over to the boss that's supposed to happen in a much later chapter. This doesn't actually mess with the game too much, except that he won't have to do this boss later. I'm actually a little curious as to why he's doing it, because in Bingo, you typically don't have to go to this point in the game. Like, you'll be finished with your goals before you would actually make it to this point of the game normally. So, looks like Craz8's first town member is going to be Vanilla here. After the park climb, it's a much longer trip to get to Vanilla than it is to Rita, but you gain access to this warp point over here, which after you get Slide, this would be the next logical place to go. So you kind of cut off that extra time of going over there to Rita. You get Slide slower in exchange for getting the item after Slide much faster. So I keep talking about how Slide is amazing and all, and it just really is. There's so many upgrades and stuff in this that they won't be able to get without Slide. In addition to Slide just making their movement so much faster, so much more fluid. It is needed to unlock the next faster upgrade as well. So you may not see all the players go for the next logical upgrade after Air Dash, or after Slide will be Air Dash, but you may not see all the players go get Air Dash. It is really good, but you have to spend money to upgrade it, and if your goal line includes spending money to upgrade things, you may not have enough to make use of out of the Air Dash. So it looks like Cosmoing is heading towards his Slide now. He's going on his little mission here that he sent on, and I think Craz8 will be doing that again shortly, but first he has to go through this little chapter transition boss fight. So Craz8 will be getting started on the laboratory here a little bit later, but he has a certain warp stone already unlocked that Cosmoing does not have quite yet. And you can already see the power of Slide, just sliding and jumping, just kind of moving through the air really quickly. Just having Slide will unlock an item in the shop that you can go pick up that can actually substitute for things like double jump or air dash. The bunny strike that's in the shop can actually, get you through places just as good as those items in some cases. So even though we are on casual difficulty, these lasers still do a nice 15 damage, but you don't have to tank too many of them before getting through. Craz8 is going to be picking up the bunny whirl right there. I didn't actually see if Cosmoing picked that up or not, but what the whirl lets you do is attack midair. It gives you the spinning attack midair. You actually can't attack midair until you pick up that item, so it's actually a really good item to pick up if you think you'll be fighting a good number of bosses. It's actually really good for traveling as well. No, this is not Lockout Bingo. Lockout Bingo is a thing. Or maybe not Lockout Bingo, but just kind of Lockout in general. But that is something that we've tried with this game a couple times. But no, it does not block the square for your opponent. Alright, now that Cosmoing has Slide, he may be doing his park climb now to head up towards Air Dash if he's going to end up picking that up. No, it changed his mind. Oh, he's going to be going to the shop first. Okay, so he's going to be picking up Bunny Strike in the shop here. Up where you get Air Dash, there's actually a warp point that you can use. But at this point, you can only get up there if you have Bunny Strike. So picking up Bunny Strike before going up to get the Air Dash item is a very, very good idea. Yeah, it'll split the color whenever both players get a certain goal. So it should be pretty obvious, I believe, whenever they grab that. So yeah, Cosmoing is doing his park climb, and might be taking a small detour to pick up any items along the way that his row dictates he needs to get. I guess he didn't pick up the bunny whirl because I'm not seeing him using it to bounce off these people. I guess another thing I should mention, since Craz just walked through the laboratory and some lasers, he was taking vastly reduced damage compared to what Cosmoing did. So, once you hit 10% items in this game, you can see the item percentage at the top of each player's screen. You kind of, while you're below 10% items, you're kind of in this glass cannon state where you take a lot more damage and enemies have a lot less health. But once you go over that 10% threshold, that's kind of removed. So even though Craz had the badge on that makes him take 50% more damage, he still ended up taking less damage than Cosmoing did because he was over that 10% threshold. Who's turning on the tiles on the board? The players should be. If they're not, oh gosh, it might be a little difficult for me to while trying to pay attention to both runners at the same time. We've asked the players to mark them themselves, so you should be able to see that right as they get those items. The tiles are being turned on. That's good, right? Alright, Craz picked up the arm strength badge there. That gives them a 15% damage bonus on all their hammer attacks. It's another one of the strong damage upgrade badges. There's only a couple of them, but the ones that there are pretty good. What's the estimate for this race? It'll probably be between 45 and 55 minutes is what I'm guessing. It shouldn't take more than an hour. So Cosmoing has finished his park climb and is moving on to the graveyard here. He's going to be right behind Craz. And looks like they're both going to be heading up towards the Coterie 2 fight and Sky Island Town at about the same time. So the Coterie 2 fight here is actually pretty annoying. She likes to do a lot of attacks where she just kind of hovers in the air and you can't really hit her all that easily. But with a well-timed up drill from your hammer, you can kind of make her fall to the ground before or while doing an attack. Normally, you can see on the screen, she should be up in the air while doing all these attacks, but you can kind of glitch her out to stay on the ground, and it makes the fight so much faster. It looks like they both got the Coterie 2 aerial glitch. And they're moving on to Sky Island Town, so they'll be picking up the air dash item here, which is super amazing for just movement in general. It's fast, it's safe, you don't like take any damage while doing it, and it opens up a good number of spots. Can both players pick the same for their opponents? Yes, I'm pretty sure they can. It just didn't happen this time. You tempted to play this game? This game is absolutely great. I love it so much. If you're not much into the art style, that's fine, I understand. But the gameplay in this is just amazing. Controlling your bunny here once you get all the movement items is just the dream, dude. Alright, Sky Island Town is pretty much devoid of enemies except the boss. But there's actually a good number of items here that you need bombs for, and you'll see Craz coming up to the... This is a kind of a weird jump, but if you have Bunny Strike, you can just kind of fly right up here. In a casual play, you'd probably have air jump before getting up here, because that air jump makes that jump completely trivial, but with a well-timed Bunny Strike, you can just kind of fly up here. There's a couple more items and the warp point. If you can't get the warp point, you got to walk all the way back, and it's pretty far. So definitely pick up Bunny Strike before coming up here. Alright, looks like Craz is going straight to town to upgrade his air dash, so you'll immediately see just the sheer speed you get from having it level 3. Level 1 air dash isn't that good. It's good for attacking bosses, but level 3 air dash is where the speed comes in. Yes, this is a Metroidvania style game. I guess I can go over some of the goals to kind of specify what they're about. Cosmo is going to have to get the level 2 P hairpin. The P hairpin comes from after the boss in the Plurkwood area. Now, the Plurkwood area is normally really long, but there is a skip you can do to skip the vast majority of it and actually go straight to the boss. But you actually need a good number of movement items before you can actually attempt that. I'm not sure if he will be getting those items or just going through the entirety of Plurkwood. Either way, he will need to be in Chapter 3 in order to upgrade that P hairpin to level 2. So about half of the items you need to be in Chapter 3 in order to actually upgrade at the shop, which means that you actually need to have 4 town recruits before that actually becomes an option. So it makes some of the item upgrade goals a lot longer than others. So this is the fight against the second Ashley. We saw the first Ashley in the prologue. This one is much more annoying. She has a lot of random patterns. She gets defense up buff at a pretty unfortunate time. When she's almost, you know, low on health, she'll get that defense buff and just make the fight take a lot longer. So Craz is doing kind of what I like to do. He's fighting Rita a lot later than Cosmoing did, but once he comes over here and gets the Warp Stone, there's actually a slide tunnel over here. He can just go right through and continue on to this side of the world. So they're actually on kind of opposite sides of an area right now. Cosmoing is to the left of Evernight, and Craz is to the right of Evernight right now. I'm not sure if that's where they're both going right now, but it's just kind of funny. The whole world is a big circle, so if you go one way, you're going to eventually come back to where you are. So it makes routing pretty interesting because of all the different ways you can get to the areas. And there's a lot of up-down paths as well. Like the volcano area down below, most of the whole map connects some kind of weird places. Alright, looks like Craz dipped into Aurora Palace there to just attack the warp. The warp is very quick to grab in the palace there, and they may be coming back there later. Oh, he's setting up for a slide zip here. Oh, nope, never mind, he stopped. Nope, he's leaving. Never mind. Oh, so you're going to be seeing on a Cosmoing side here, you're going to be doing a mini-boss glitch. If you initiate a mini-boss like this one, if you go to your load game menu, scroll past the 4th slot, and then unpause the game and defeat a single enemy, it actually just ends the event. So any mini-boss event not in the prologue, that works on. It's really strange. Craz is going down into what I like to call Cocoa Cave. This is the Forgotten Cave where you fight the Cocoa 2 boss. This is kind of a weird one to come to because there's not many items down here that are beneficial, but the boss is actually kind of important because Craz has to do row 3, I think, right? Each boss gives a buff in town. So Cocoa's buff, actually, she sells you some bombs, and they're actually really fun to use. So he may be going for the bottom right square, which is hold 4 Cocoa Bombs at once. Again, you would obviously need to beat up Cocoa before you can access that goal. I need to refresh myself on what goals they chose for each other. Alright, Craz is doing row 3. So what is he doing other than that? Oh, maybe he's doing top left, bottom right. That would make sense. Oh well, anyway. Cosmoing just picked up the plus necklace right there. The plus necklace, I guess I never talked about Ribbon. Ribbon's your little fairy companion you have. She kind of functions as your Mega Buster. You can shoot pellets, you can charge it up, and shoot stronger pellets, and the plus necklace actually lets you shoot more of those pellets at a time. It actually is a big strain on your hand because you have to mash more buttons to get the maximum damage you can out of Ribbon. But was that a goal in here, perhaps? He may have needed it for area item completion. You don't understand what they're doing? It's basically bunnies. That's just about it. So Craz is going on to fighting Alias 2 here, which is the chapter transition boss. That's what I'm going to keep calling her, just because it's a little more descriptive. And this will unlock, well, the chapter 3 items for him in the shop. So that's really mainly the only reason you would want to access chapter 3. The other one being the system interior area is completely closed off to you until you are in chapter 3. And that is where the double jump item hides. So actually it does make a lot of sense in some situations to go there. And yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. So yeah, you come to the lab here, you trigger some cutscenes over here, and then you just go right down to the computer you were at earlier, and then you go into system interior. So Cosmoing's fighting the red Kotri, which is pretty much the glass cannon boss of this game. She does a lot of damage. I mean, again, we're in casual difficulty, so it may not seem like that much, but compared to other bosses, she does a really lot of damage. But she has comparatively low health, so the fight doesn't take all that often. It's just that to recruit her here, you actually do have to fight her 3 times. And this being the 3rd fight, this will give him his 4th town recruit right after this. So Craz just picked up air jump. And is that the only thing he's coming here for? I guess so. He's taken off. So the combination of air dash, air jump, and whirl just, in my opinion, makes this game absolutely a blast to move around in. If you do a quick drop on the ground and then air jump out of it, you gain a lot of horizontal speed and you're just going to be going flying everywhere. With air jump, you don't have to do some really strange wall jumps to access some areas. And it's just great. I can't overstate it. So Cosmoing is going into his chapter 3 right now. Using this mini boss glitch to take out these nerds. That probably looks really strange if you haven't played this game before. There is a little plot significance to that, but I don't know. I think it's just funny if you don't explain it. Wow, there's suddenly nerds and dogs trying to beat you up in the city. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Oh, Craz, I don't know if you're going to be able to get up there without wall jump. Yeah, he's going around. He really wants that Easter egg, it looks like. There's a lot of items up here. So there's the mana wager badge, or is that health wager? That's mana wager. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he is doing top left, bottom right, or else he wouldn't have picked up that badge. So you know what I bet he's gonna do? What Craz is probably going to do is that center square, get a high score on the sandbag. 5,000 is actually the highest goal we have for sandbag damage. So he's probably going to go to the sandbag, have it be his last goal, and he's going to just use all 4 of his Cocoa Bombs to blow it up and maybe get that 5,000. I bet that's what he's going to do. And yeah, I just saw him use the rainbow magic there to grab his bunny lover buff. That is how you grab that square. You have to obtain rainbow magic and then use the boost attack for it, which are some game mechanics I guess I've kind of just glossed over when I was talking about Ribbon earlier. You'll see a flashing red bar above Ribbon. That indicates her boost, which is kind of her super attack, and each magic type you have has a different type of boost. The blue one is just really good, and it gives you some defense bonus, which is cool and all, but some of the other ones are needed to access some buffs, which in turn will give you some bingo squares. Alright, Cosmoing's going to be picking up his double jump here, and he's going to be flying as well. Did I completely miss Craz doing that pyramid zip? So in the pyramid area, there's a zip you can do. If you just kind of slide jump into a corner and kind of jam your bunny head into a corner, you zip straight to the boss room. And you can just skip the entirety of the pyramid. It's really great. Some zips will recruit the boss, but this one does not because of the way it's triggered. He's grabbing a lot of Easter eggs right now. What Easter eggs do, if you collect 5 of them, they give you the rainbow magic, and any more past that will upgrade the magic and make it do some more damage. But I think the main allure to them is that they give you 1,500 EN being the currency. It gives you 1,500 bunny monies for everyone you pick up. So he's probably, if he's doing his goal like I think he is, he's getting all these eggs for money. And yeah, he just picked up the cashback badge right there, which just increases the amount of money you gain. So yeah, that's definitely what he's going to be doing there. Alright, here comes the Lilith 1 skip for Cosmoing here. Very nicely done. You can get up on that ceiling there and just kind of fly straight into the Lilith 2 part. The Lilith has 2 fights, one on the ground and one in the air that you're seeing right now. But if you have double jump and air dash or some combination of items, you can just kind of get through that ceiling and fly right over the first fight, so you don't have to do it at all. If your goal is to defeat Lilith 1, you can't do that. You gotta actually go and fight her. But if your goal is to recruit Lilith, this is all you have to do. So this auto-scroller is a little unfortunate, and probably why Craz picked this row for him. The Lilith 1 auto-scroller is very long. It's gonna be about 4 minutes total. And while it's not like difficult or anything, it's just a huge time sink you don't want to do. So right now what you'll see Craz doing here is he's farming for money. This is actually a very quick to get to and easy money farming spot in Icy Summit here. You just hop down this hole, you double jump back up, and you blast all these cats. And with the cashback badge he has, he's getting a lot more increased money than he would be getting. It looks like he's happy with how much he has. Oh, you know, I just realized that he can't do the sandbag as his last goal because he has to end with 40,000 in. So even after he gets the sandbag done, he's going to have to go get some more money. Which, coming as someone who's played this game, who does bingos, farming for money sucks. It's long and tedious, but sometimes it's just the best way to get things done really quickly. He's coming up here to grab health up, and can he... Hold on, can you make this jump? I don't know if you can make this jump. He's pretty confident you can. So the health wager badge that he needs is up here. Oh, no, he looks like he's going around the real way. You can make this jump? Are you serious? You do it all the time. I've never even tried that. Oh, well, he gets an egg if he goes this way, so there's a little more money. Alright, so here's the Lilith boss, which is, like, actual Denmaku bullet hell. I don't know why he's using the blue magic. You should be using yellow magic here. Yellow magic does... it's crazy strong in the flying sections. Unless he knows something I don't. And he probably does, because he actually runs this game. Cosmoing is the 100% world record holder, which he got just yesterday morning, I think. And Craz having some crazy execution because of all the difficult modes he plays. He's coming back over here. Oh, okay, he's going to be zipping, not really zipping, he's going to be doing some semi-solid clips here into the Halloween area. Presumably just for money? If he's doing this just for money, shouldn't there be a better way? There may be, I don't know. Either way, it's funny. Yep, that room has 2 eggs. There's an egg over here. As long as he doesn't die to these spikes. Cosmoing finally figured out to switch to yellow magic, I guess. Funny rhymes with money. It sure does, and that's what this game is all about. Alright, he's going to park, so he may be itching to go to the sandbag. Never mind, that's not where he's going. Where's he going? Oh, he's grabbing this egg. Okay, so on Cosmoing side here, this is the side chapter. When you get 6 town recruits, this silly little event appears where you play as Rita and you kick some bosses in the face, and it ends very quickly. But we just kind of have a joke that if you got side chapter, something went wrong, because usually you can finish these without getting 6 town members. Alright, Craz is spending all of his money on Cocoa Bombs. He now has 4, so he can mark that off. He's pretty close, isn't he? 7 badges won't be too bad. I know he has a good amount of badges. In addition to actually picking up the badges, you actually also need to collect pack-ups, which increase the amount of badges that you can equip at once. Each badge has like a value attached to it. Like the attack trade badge costs, I think it's 6 badge points, or pack points, I think they're called in the game. So in addition to picking up those 7 badges, you will also need enough pack points to actually equip them. You can buy pack-ups in the shop, and it's actually not bad to do, considering how out of the way some of the pack-ups are. But he's spent so much money on these Cocoa Bombs and Air Dash level 3 that he's probably not going to have much to spare. Cocoing? No, that's his other name. Cosmoing is heading into the Night Forest here. Going to be showing off the mini-botch glitch again, which is so funny. He's going into the Night Forest. This part of the Night Forest is completely dark. You can't really see here until you pick up the Light Orb, which is not too far away from a warp point, so he can go get it if he wants to, but, I mean, you don't really need it. If you know what you're doing... Oh, watch this! Alright, I think I'm back. I wonder if I had permission to drag the restream back. Okay, so... Sorry about that. That was my fault. I set up an AFK channel on Discord and the restream got pushed into it. Nice job, me. Did Craz get 5,000? I'm pretty sure he did. He wouldn't have left. He did. Alright, so Craz is super close to being done. I just saw him try to equip 7 badges, but I don't see a square mark, so maybe he didn't do it. He probably has a couple more pack points. Yeah, there's a pack up over here. That's where he's headed right now. Alright, so Cosmoing is heading to the Plurkwood here. The only thing here is the boss KK Bunny and the P hairpin. There's nothing else here but some eggs. Looks like he is going to be skipping all of Plurkwood and going straight to KK Bunny. Using some semi-solid clips. So this boss is a little strange. You have to skip it the exact way. Okay. You have to... Okay, so if you just walk left in that room, it triggers the boss in the left room, and you can't escape, and you can't beat the boss. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. So you actually have to use all these movement items to fly over the boss trigger, and then come back from the left side into the main boss room. And that'll actually do the boss as normal. It's really weird, but it's actually pretty funny. That just to do this boss properly, you have to fly over a boss trigger and then come from the other side. Craz8's killing bosses for money. Yeah, he must be. He's really on like a money spree here. He's gonna skip the Chaos Rod. Dang, I love the Chaos Rod. Oh, he's going back. Yeah, the warp is this way. I think this is the fastest way to the warp. That's where he's headed. Alright. Yeah, he's coming over here to get a little bit more money. But what's over here? Is he gonna go fight Nixie? What do you need with Nixie? There's not a badge over here. Oh, he's just fighting Shadow Rita, and he's gonna farm money, I guess, from here. Alright, so anyway, Cosmoing beat up KK Bunny. There she is. You actually don't need to recruit her, you only need to beat her up, and then that'll receive the P hairpin. And since he's in Chapter 3, he can upgrade at the store, and then that's his thing right there. So, 10 Western Coast Easter eggs in Column 4, Row 1. That's a dandy, that one. There's a lot of Easter eggs, but a lot of them are locked to the Halloween area. Yeah, that's where he's going right into right now, the Halloween area. This area is kind of scary. He doesn't have the light orb, so he shouldn't be going this way. Yeah, okay, he turned around and went back. Halloween has a lot of eggs in it, and you actually do need to dip into the Halloween area in order to get the 10 eggs that this requires. I think there's only 7 outside of the Halloween area, but once he gets inside, he's going to have to choose certain ones to get. Some of them you can zip to, and they're actually pretty quick to get, and I think that's what he's trying to do right now. These blocks that he's right next to, he didn't want those to explode, because you can do a zip off those blocks if they are destroyed in a certain way. So since they got destroyed a bad way, ooh, that's a really bad autosave. Now he's stuck in here. He's got to continue on. No, don't wait. You got to go, dude. You gotta go. You gotta go. Don't wait. Go. Use your hammer. He doesn't have Bunny Whirl. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He doesn't have Whirl, does he? He did pick up Whirl. Always pick up Bunny Whirl. Uh-oh. I shouldn't be laughing. That's so unfortunate. But that's not something I've seen happen before. This is the first match of the tournament. Of course something unexpected happens. Alright, so these yellow blocks only break if you hit them with the hammer attack. The up drill that you get just from upgrading the hammer doesn't work. You have to have Bunny Whirl or Bunny Roll, not Bunny Roll, Hammer Roll. He can't go back through this way because that block's right there. You also can't slide jump in this 2-block high tunnel. And this autosave has completely broken him. Oh no. Oh, he's gonna try to zip out, or at least see if he can zip out. It's probably not gonna work. Uh-oh. So, I guess meanwhile, Craz is just farming up his money. He's almost done. He almost has his 40k. You can see it in the lower right. There, yeah, that's his 40k. And he's equipping his 7 badges, and he's done. Alright, so Craz will take the first match of the tournament. That was a really unfortunate soft lock there. So, any of you aspiring Rabi-Ribi players out there, let me tell you, always pick up Bunny Whirl. It's so good! And it prevents situations like this. Craz is taking his victory hops with the cats here. No bias? No, no, no. I am not biased. Oh, you mean it for Bunny Whirl? Yeah, always pick up Bunny Whirl. So yeah, GG to Craz. He will be moving on to face. Oh my gosh, I've organized this tournament kind of, and I don't have any idea what the brackets look like. It's a little embarrassing. Who is Craz fighting in the next round? Craz will be fighting the winner of Hakua and the only one, who have been talking about scheduling their match, but haven't done it yet. So there's only 7 people in this tournament. It's kind of a little mini showcase sort of thing going on here, but we're having a good time. He's blowing up Coco with the bombs. That's so mean. Oh, Craz, what are you doing, dude? Oh man, well that was a good race. That was a fine introduction, and shows the little dangers of bunnying here. No one had to do anything too dangerous. We didn't see any deaths or anything like that. There weren't any really long collection goals that were chosen. I think Cosmoing is going to come in here. Craz is our Japanese runner, so he doesn't speak English too well, but he sure plays a mean game of bunny. Alright, hey Cosmo, a little unfortunate there right at the end.
You call that unfortunate?
I call it, it was pretty funny, I was laughing, not gonna lie.
I don't even know why I picked that row, honestly. I was like, oh, there's a couple easy stuff on there, sure. And then I realized, oh wait, Halloween. I don't know Halloween. What am I gonna do?
You started going the way without the light orb I saw, and then quickly turned around.
You mean for our Oni skip?
Oh no, I thought you were going at the start of the Halloween area instead of doing that tunnel zip right where the sign was.
Well, I thought I could go that way and maybe get some eggs, but it didn't look like there were enough eggs to make it worth it. I had Rabi-Ribi open in my face.
Oh yeah, you need Whirl to get through that way too, don't you?
Yep.
Oh god.
So I just said, like, let's go the other way, let's see what I can do, because I'm fighting a losing battle anyways.
Yeah, and then those blocks didn't break the correct way, so you had to take that route that you did, which kind of led to the soft log.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have... There's a lot of things I shouldn't have done.
That's okay.
To be fair, I don't even know... It took me like a solid 30 minutes to remember how to get Bunny Lover.
Oh,
so
no,
that's actually why I went to go fight Alias in the beginning, because I was like, oh, maybe do I have to like fight Mira or something?
Oh gosh, no, that's just 5 eggs.
Yeah, it's just 5 eggs. I remember, and it's like, oh, it's the egg boost, right? Which is good because I'm doing Easter eggs, but I still went to fight Alias 3 like really early on for that reason.
Well, you were actually really close, weren't you? The other health and mana wager don't take too long. The Western Coast eggs probably would have came really quickly if everything would have worked out.
If I actually knew what I was doing. Yeah, if it wasn't for that little bit of, misknowledge. And there was also like a lot of other mistakes I did, like I didn't have wall jump for Arone, which is why I had to fight her.
I saw that. I was getting really excited. I was like, he's gonna do the skip in the dark, which I haven't seen before. I was like, oh wait, he doesn't have wall jump, but he's gonna try it anyway.
Yeah, I just jumped in there, I got in the hole, and then I immediately fell back down because I didn't have wall jump. It was a big shame. There's a lot of things I need to learn. I intentionally tried not choose any rows in the middle because I don't actually know how to do the sandbag. I've never fought the sandbag in my life.
What Craz did, he went to the sandbag, and I missed it because I was working on some restream problems I had.
Yeah.
But he went and did he picked up 4 cocoa bombs, and I thought he was just going to use them all at the sandbag. I didn't see if he actually did or not.
No.
I think that would have been pretty funny.
Oh right, he didn't have to go get 4 cocoa bombs. Wow. Yeah, he could have done that.
Yeah, he did a lot of money farming. But with
that was my hope.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got him to do it for sure, but it worked out. He fought a lot of extra bosses, I think, too. You both had side chapter, I believe.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have a choice. I really wanted air jump for both Lilith and Ararane and KK Bunny. So I had to go, and I didn't know if I would need to go to Upper Halloween, so I decided to go pick up Sharo right away as well.
Right, and that makes sense because air jump is just so good for getting stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's, well, not necessarily for getting stuff, but just for a lot of skips, in particular on my columns and rows. Just needed that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think with that, we're gonna call it. Thank you, Cosmoing and Craz, for the inaugural race of the Rabi-Ribi Double Anti-Bingo Tournament. That's a really long name.
It is a really long name. But we don't want to call it DAB, so it's good.
We don't want to call it the Rab Dab, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it looks like coming up next on this channel, Super Mario 64 should be starting in about 5 minutes. So if that's your fancy, yeah, stay tuned for that. So I think with that, we're gonna take off here. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Good job to Craz.
Yeah, GG.